Spirit life!
Here in America, especially, we've watered down the gospel to be just a one-time experience, like an altar call. Just say this prayer, you're good to go. But I want to show a few visuals that I made for a children's camp. I actually think these are really helpful for me to remember what salvation's all about. When we first believe and we first get born again, that is a spiritual reality. That's something that happens in our spirit. God gives us His Spirit. That's why I drew the dove over here. But that's what we call being justified, being actually forgiven of sins. All of your dirty record of wrongs is wiped clean, and it's just as if I had never sinned. In other words, God has literally wiped away that wrongdoing, thrown your sin as far as the east is to the west, which is infinity, washed you white as snow. All of those verses apply to this moment in time where we're no longer held guilty for sins. And so this is salvation, but there's more to salvation. There's actually another step that a lot of Christians leave out. And unfortunately, especially in the modern church, it's not really popular to talk about holiness. But the Bible uses the phrase that we are continually being saved. It's not just a one and done that happened some time ago when you first believed. It's an ongoing process of sanctification. When you're sanctified, it means you're made holy and you're continually conformed into the image of Christ. Check out this brain I drew. I'm really proud of that. Took me a lot of time there. But I'm not the greatest artist. The whole point, though, is your mind, your will, your emotions, your heart, your personality is conformed into the image of Christ. You're constantly made more and more like Him, more and more pure and holy. Paul talks about this wrestling match between the flesh and the spirit, and this kind of tug of war that's happening as we sometimes stumble and don't do the thing we want to do, and we do the thing we know we ought not to do. But it's a journey, and as long as we're committed to following Jesus, He'll continue to take us glory to glory and transform us and sanctify us so that we are continually being saved.
But wait! There's more!
We have a third part. It's the glorification of the human body. We're not just a spirit that's trapped in this dungeon of a body. The body is good. God made the physical body. He made us to be physical creatures. He made Adam and Eve and said it was good. He made the world and said it was good. When we get glorified, that means our bodies, our physical bodies that have the corruption of the flesh, the corruption of sin, and the curse upon it, will be transformed in a way that will allow us in our physical bodies to interact with God, just like Adam and Eve interacted with God, and just like the way He's always dreamed for us to do. Remember now, if we were to see God face to face, it would obliterate us. When Moses wanted to see God's glory, all he got was hiding in the cleft of the rock, God putting His hand over it, and then passing by with his backside so he wouldn't see the full glory. And even then, Moses' face was shining so bright that no one else could look at him once he came down the mountain. But when we get transformed, it'll be just like Jesus. Remember, when Jesus came out of the grave, He was not just resuscitated back to life. It's not like Lazarus. Lazarus was resuscitated back from being dead and passed away back to a normal physical life, and then He died again later. Jesus was permanently raised back to life and glorified. He had a physical body. His disciples touched Him. He said, "Come and touch, see that I'm not a ghost." They touched the holes in His hand. He ate fish with them, and the fish didn't fall out of Him because He's not a ghost. He wasn't just a spirit. He wasn't just a recomposed body. He was glorified. And all the things that Jesus could do, the same way that He had a real physical body that could hug and eat and be real and interactive in our physical world, we will have that, but glorified, because Jesus Himself could do supernatural things. And it's unclear exactly what supernatural things we will or won't do that Jesus did, but He could disguise Himself or make His appearance different. He could walk through walls or just teleport and appear in a place. He literally ascended straight up through the sky into heaven. I'm not saying we'll be able to fly on command, but maybe we will. I don't know. But glorification is definitely something that we want to look forward to, and that brings me to the topic of the resurrection. Click here to watch my in-depth teaching on the resurrection of the saints and the millennium. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons and share this video.